Page number 9. Nam Kalama Pa Me Palan Ko Sancho Semba Pad Me Be Korwa Muse Yo Bar Chum.
In the space in front appears the Guru in the form of Amitabha, surrounded by an inconceivable retinue of bodhisattvas.
Namo Koncho Sandan Tawasa Jamne Nan La Cha Sun Che Ro Kon Sanje Lang Ko Che Chan Chon Cho De Sem Je An Tho Namo Koncho Sandan Tawasa Jamne Nan La Cha Sun Che Ro Kon San Je Lang Ko Che Chan Chon Cho De Sem Je An Tho.
Namo, to the three jewels and the three roots, the places of protection, I go for refuge. In order to establish all beings in Buddhahood, I give rise to the mind set on supreme awakening.
Page number 28. Demanyekit subject. Hong Rang Re Nang Wang Ta Ye Ke Zon Zen Cha Re Sem La Tu Nang Wang Ta Ye Lo Nam He Rang Re Chue Ke Ngon Ca Chin.
Hong, innate awareness, is the form of Amitabha. Look at the mind that is free of subject-object duality. There is no other Amitabha than that. How wondrous is the truth body of self-knowing awareness.
Om Dewa Om Dewa Page number 6, page number 6. Page number 6. Soye Beje Sui Shen Me Do Zhang Ra Len Ye Nye Den Jin Pan De San Ji Shen La Me De Pa Ye Ro Gu Nam Da Shen De Ju Ba Shu.
The ground is sprinkled with scented water and strewn with flowers. It is adorned with Meru, the supreme mountain, the four continents, and the sun and moon. As a Buddha field, I offer it. May all sentient beings attain the happiness of the Buddha fields.
Simje namje samba dan loye che dra che dao che chong tu mon te bai che jang ko lo go de zo.
Please turn the wheel of the Dharma, of the greater, lesser, and ordinary vehicles, in accordance with the understanding and different mental capacities of sentient beings.
Om Dewa Om Dewa Om Dewa Om Dewa Om Dewa Om Dewa Om Dewa
Dorzin Jung Dilin Narodo Namada Babadan Gijango Kadi Zindan Savi Lameja Taju Lama Gidang Jujong La Zorwan Devzo Taju Jinje Lo Ichi Jinkalan Chero Jingor Jin Debe Hodon Durgen Lam Jarve Dimba Gwinnis and Debe Gaju Rumbo Jela Zorwan De Red Jinkor Jandu Chavda Gadin Gota Neve Tinja Savi Lame Chavji Vimala Gozo By Jimbo Chan Jazan Jabo Dazan Jandam Jello Josan Dory Jinja Love the Zo, Chulam Dory Jinja Love the Zo, Lam Chuasi Jinja Love the Zon Dory, Yesis and Javar Jinja Love the Zo, the way that you try Jinja Love the Tuji Shinju Driver Shinji Love the Zo, then the Tablin Kivari Shinji Love the Zo, Ronja Tonyan Driver Shinji Love the Zo, the Siton the Denver Shinji Love the Zo. Onje Juju Dongin Jigana, the Human John, then the Dami Juju Jamia, the Bando Badam, then Juju Majunam Ganyam Besum Jadam Jitawa, don't Dungi Doge, Nodalana Meba. Yung da was the big Rinpoche Tovara Ya Di Chi De Changua Chimbo Ngadi Je Ninjura Je Rimpa Nyamsan Lambarisha Nyambing on the Zambarisha Tantala Ninjura Je Rimpa She Nyamsa Lembaisha Nyambing on the Zambatella Kong the Jig Ninjuro Kumbika Zimbate on the Son Sine Trinta to the Renki Korate Nyamzalemala Tom Mother Hilam Zamonte Lamasamu Nyamzalembala Tangundundawala Ngatuge Tumbo Lodo Nabashi Kuyong Tenne Tuma Mai Bege Nyengondro Jamdo Simji Doje Simbiki Kumti Mente Lamini Jorshe Nyamsalon Ni
Good morning, everybody. So, before we listen to the Dharma teaching, we need to develop bodhicitta. We need to correct our motivation. The motivation to receive teaching is for help and benefit, not only for our own self, but for the entire sentient beings in the samsara. With having this mental attitude, then we listen to the Dharma teaching. So we have been discussed and talked about 4 yogas of the Mahamudra. Out of the 4 yogas of the Mahamudra, we have finished with the first one, which is the yogas of the single pointed, so which have been discussed yesterday. So today we're supposed to talk about the second one, which is the free from the yogas of the free from elaboration. So before we even talk about these kind of teaching, one thing we must remember and understand is that we need to really go through all the foundation practice or the stages of the practice. So when we talk about the foundation or the preliminary practice, so there are common 4 preliminary practice and 4 uncommon preliminary practice. So when we talk about 4 common preliminary practice, which is a talk about the precious human life, which is difficult to obtain, and then the even we found this precious human body, it is not going to last forever. Contemplating on the impermanence, and then the third one is the law of causality or the cause and effect, having thorough understanding and practicing and abiding in the law of cause and effect. And then the final one is the suffering nature of the samsara. So reason why we need to practice and need to liberate or attain enlightenment is because that entire samsara is tormented by the suffering and pain and so on and so forth. Therefore, we need to have the liberation and the Buddhahood for that reason. So this is the common for preliminary practice. And then after having this thorough understanding and practice, then we have to go for the second preliminary practice, which is uncommon preliminary practice. That is the starting with the taking refuge and prostration, and then mandala offering and Vajrasattva and Guru Yoga practice. So these are the foundation practices for individual to practice higher level of the practices.
Tina lam sama nyam sa lamban dala ngadu ki ni gan digli ki tanjur ki mulo Rinpoche de ni gan digli ko ne thok dewa dela ngo xie wa de dong ngo xie ne de tongdam ningbo long tu ba xie ko ju tu da de ji ba ma da ba ten bi ki ko ne de lam sa nyam sa len ju o lam nyam sa long ne len de la ye ji nye ba tong ne tin di ki den no ju yi ki te lam ta to lam de nga zo to ma yi bin ge ta ma chi wa yin de da tu se na tam bi ki chu ma ta kong ge ge jo ma do be de nga zo tong dam ge nying bo len ne na khur wi ki jang zo chen bo le tra ne de Dewa jen song ji wo ba me bi xian gam de je to ba xia nyam bi ge den do ma te dong go wa ten de se re.
So how do we practice for uncommon preliminary practice? Is as I mentioned earlier, that first one is the precious human life. So first of all, we have to recognize that we have obtained precious human life. So this kind of precious human life is not easily can be found. So this kind of precious human life is we have obtained due to our previous great amount of accumulation of the merits. Without going through accumulation of the merits, we may have not able to found such a meritorious, precious human life. So once you know that this is very precious, then one thing again, what you need to remember and understand is that this is a very fragile. It is not going to last forever. Life is impermanent, it is not going to last forever. So therefore, we need to understand and contemplate on the impermanent nature of the life. So when we talk about impermanent of the nature of the life, we have a birth, and after taking birth, there is death. So once we die, then what would be the most beneficial for our life is only practice of Dhamma. Whatever the things that we have earned in this life, whatever things that we have achieved in mundane level of the things that we have achieved in this life is no relevant for our own death. Therefore, only practice of the Dhamma can help us when we die. So, however, in this context of the retreat, then since we are doing the Amitabha retreat, so single-pointedly we need to develop faith and devotion to the Buddha Amitabha, and then one should also make a great deal of aspiration, prayer to be reborn into the Buddha Amitabha pure land.
Da te da ra Dewa jen ji xian gam la je we ke mo lam da zo ro da chang chu phu ne te xi ne da nga do ke lu ten sung ba te thop de le te ju jen ten de le ne da thop de ba te kar ba sung bo re te yin de yin na yo lu ten sung ba te ya bo thop jang yin na yo de je wa thong ma me be ne hong song le ge nga do ke ju li yo be Dijebte da madana dewaji jengam jeto kabore tindu te jewala ngandu he soso yule yobehi nyuma be dijebte tagwe ki tola da de yedamla kargamna da so be yule yobehi de gu nu de ruma wala jamdo hondo goba tindasere telna ne jamdo te yawum be tisilina 다 규이게 노마름바 다과르시나 디노나 노 다과제가 노나 고 오말로나다 카르로나 ate 용타과 자고 대신게 롱글루게 다 규리요베게 뇽모바다 다과시네 규노도 마름바테 노rum와시네 잠도는 베바시 잠도 베고비 규젠도 된다네
So to reborn into the Buddha Amitabha pure land, not only it will help us to pray and make aspiration prayer to be reborn in the pure land, but since beginningless time until now, we have accumulated a lot of negative karma as well. So without purifying negative karma, one will be not able to reborn into the Buddha Amitabha pure land. So therefore, based on our individual, personal, whatever deity practice you may do, with the help of practicing the deity and also the practice of the deity must be based on having practice of the refuge. So without thorough practice and developing faith and devotion to the three jewel, then one may not be able to practice the deity. So therefore, the foundation for all these practice is the refuge. So therefore, based on that, then we can actually practice it. And then what we are doing, the purpose of the practice is to purify our negative karma. So once we purify our negative karma, then we are sort of cleaning our vessel, that vessel which is our own body. If it is become clean, then it is easy for us to receive blessings of the Buddha Amitabha and all the deity, the practice, whatever we do.
Oh, that Jamni Kunjo Romtela, Jabsambi, Neti, Hilaute, Rongla Tokare. Hilaute Sonde, Jab Sonde, Rongaki, Sim Gultela, Shiva, Honjub Simjaki, Eugene, Simjanla, Pimbiki, Shibingi, oh, Tok Tejelena, Sonde, Hilabron, Gula, Shokto Yore. Ngala Hilab Sena, the Rimamawa, Tombomava, Trusu, Mayiba. Xixin Jamba Mane, Simjin Pimbiki, Tedara Hina, that Shang Songa Samo Tombado, oh, Shangando Logwa, Takarina, Tosomate, Ngala, Nishilabshuba, Tere Luigi Gone Senate, Twimi Jubata, Soma Bone, that Getron inari, Gene inari, Chimton inari, Tomala, so Twimiki Joba Pony, Tudon, Demba, Hot, the Shilina, the Genduge, Hilapte, so show to a they show to Lena, that the Yedam Galata, so the wrong Utah on Yedam Plate, wrong Julie show to a let. Take who's on that Yedam Gala, Shilap get our. Lami Gelapton, Udo Kitava, Yedam Yasa, Tinny Kitao, Bow and Kanto Nante, Wrong Judy Yer Mele, the Charles Hunter, the Quencho something and Tava Zomjana, Ronche Rona, the Netole, the Nelina, the Waji Yangamjana, the Karina, that's also Simjik Mono Honda Batiki and Rotogarela. Oh, that 심진기 동요 자침보 용도 투구거래 전장인도 다 됐다라 롭선이나 데레 당어도 좀 들라 공부름 때문에 다들 진리 나지는 공부가 갑을 타들이나 다 동그램 때문에 생각가 저기 가성 혼도 휴발이 되지 서로한테 예담 그래서 또 잔나 되게 예담 리기 기름 달라데 남다 섬제 그거네 되게도 무슨 오 되고래 다다 신기 건데기 조신라잖아 당에가 좀 혼도 휴바다래 나 thiring sina kap savala ta tudar sina ta ndu ke goram thola to rogori
So, so we if we able to take refuge and practice refuge, then we will be able to receive blessings of the Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha. So the result of the receiving blessings of the Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha, it will help us to purify our body, speech, and mind, negative karma, and obscurations. By purification of the body, speech, and mind, obscuration, then physically we will we will be not acting anything that is harmful to the other sentient beings. So verbally, then we will be always use pleasant word, something that can be pleasant to hear by the other people. So when you have a blessing and purification of the mind, then your mind will be always with loving kindness and compassion. So this kind of thing will happen to your day-to-day life. So also, when we talk about, when we relate this to the Vajrayana, so we will also able to receive the blessings of the three roots, because the root of the blessing is the Guru. So you will receive the blessing by the Guru. The root of the siddhi or the attainment is the deity. So you will also receive the blessings by the deity. The root of the activities is the Daka and Dakinis. So you will also receive blessing from these three roots. So when you're able to attain all these, of course, we have no doubt that we can actually able to help a countless number of the sentient beings around you and in the world. So this is no doubt about it. And also, if we really have this, purification, and if we able to purify all our body, speech, mind, negative karma, then even when you practice generation stage with the practice of the deity, or completion stage of the practice of the deity, will become more effective. So when you, for example, when you generate or visualize yourself as a deity, without if you don't have all these negative karmas in the body, speech, and mind, then you can really able to focus more clearly, which we have talked about yesterday, the single-pointed, without any conceptual thoughts. Then you can actually able to maintain in that state without any concept, and you can actually able to visualize the deity very clearly. So second one is the yogas of the free from elaboration. So when we talk about free from elaboration, it is more related to the stages of the meditation that is related to our own mind as well.
Tā tētā rā kī dēr tē tsūgyēng zār dēbā tōng tē xīng kī dē jīrīṃ kumbā tēl tēnī dā tsū jā jīmbō sōkwa chūpaṃ bēwā tāng o chāṃ dēwā dā tēkwā yākwā dā sōkwa dā tē yāngāṃ tūmbā ngūndun dōwē kī sōnāṃ kā tsō zā yīkhal tēlā sōnāṃ kā tsō rē sōnāṃ tsō tē jā jīmbō sāng dā tōng sāma rōng kī sāmu kī nēlū tēlā tē gēk tō hwār jī mē bā tē rōbī kī chī tōlā sōnāṃ kā tsō tē jā jīmbō zā kā rē sōnāṃ jī tsō tē jā jīmbō zā tēnī ngā dō kī dā yīshī kī tsō zā kwa rē yīshī kī tsō zā kwa sā 다 도그림 때는 로고와리 다 도그림 때는 뭐 나도 사공들에 tesla 림비게 다른게 들어왔다 다 손들 사도 어디 현에 당원에 전에게 예담 라카레 이나 다데 듀르 기게레 당보론게 바탐기레게 사공들에 태도 되네 이시글라 뜻 이해를 봐 때문에 틀어 검대 강시베드 롱게 득대 탁비게 따서 딱 공부 오바메연한다 콜로톰바연한다 도제 펑모연한다 제주 돈마연한다 그래 수수 검대만한 딜라테 다 님바종 소르와다 대시용된 타마 우드 휴네 우데랑나 템소 담베킹나 롱데 인미 초르소 담데기 따토그램나 텐도 그래 동그램나 롱트 인미테 손에 롱 트바 마다나 롱데 인미 땅아도 모반도 세자래 제마도 텔라 무수용 도고 마리데 저와 당능 옷서 오두 현에 롱나 템네 롱데 예르메바 오 저네 디게 실랍도 정말로나 용도래 텐용토 뭐토 테스토소게 전루도 수수게 내밤 먹을라라래 요래
So to attain liberation or the enlightenment, we talk about accumulation of the merits, accumulation of the wisdom. So there are two paths. With the wisdom and marriage, then one can able to attain Buddhahood. So, for example, taking refuge in the Buddha Dharma, making offerings, purification of the negative karmas, and visualization of the deity, practicing the deity, and all these are considered as accumulation of the merits. With the great deal of accumulation of the merits, then one can able to purify all the negative karmas. Through the purification of the negative karma, then the wisdom will manifest by itself. So, for example, when we practice the generation stage of the practice, you can consider that is the accumulation of the merits. And after you visualize the deity, normally, then you have to dissolve that into the emptiness nature. And then you become one with the deity, inseparable nature. And then at that point, there is a non-duality of subject and object. Yourself who is meditating the deity, and then an object, the deity that you usually think of or imagine or visualize is no more there. You with the one with the deity. And that is we can call it wisdom. So wisdom will manifest in that way. So for example, in this context, we can visualize the Buddha Amitabha as the deity, or whether you are visualizing the Chakrasambhara or Tara, whatever deity practice you do, first you will generate yourself as the deity. And then gradually, then you will dissolve the deity into yourself, or of course there are different methods, or deity dissolve into yourself, you become one with the deity, and eventually you and deity become inseparable nature. It is a union, inseparable nature. So this kind of things will happen only if you have purified your negative karmas. If you have not able to purify negative karmas, then of course these things only we can leave it as a imagination, but in actual fact it will not going to manifest by itself. So that is depend on individuals' effort and perseverance and enthusiastic. Based on that, then you can actually able to achieve this kind of level.
다 기름 대달 건네 다 저도 된거서 손네 들이 도름 되냐면 거 말에 기름산 대라 대 간도게 키타로 봉웨기 기대 연바도 도름 대 람선년 바데 간도게 등노게 땅디 니디게 정말 좀 기대라 대 도름라 랍거와 텐다리 tindu tongren sena ta thongmar sana tingazo te diwe ke jeso mando mawo bango samando masa tadi ke semrogi nyoma khande sene dana o tingo wajane tela takarso hyuthari tije ke ngone tingona neko batere.
So after the practice of the generation stage of the deity, then when it comes to the completion or the dissolution stage of the practice of the deity, is that after you become one with the deity, then as I mentioned earlier, that you have to maintain in the state of non-duality state. There is no subject and object, and you have to maintain your mind in the state that is completely free from any concept, any verbalization, any imagination. You maintain in the solid, the true self or the true nature of our own mind. So if you're able to maintain that state with a single pointedly, and that is the yoga of the single pointed.
Toda sena kondo kibata ta ngo de jeju mebe ngone sem korona roba kundo tarsone tende te ngona hyago bare tinyo ndevege hakya chebu ge jesa romadan maung bi ge ndayan de ji mongbo ge lugu ju ge jesona semte jel neto mare tinyo ngōzu jechu mebe ngōne sem rōwa ke tade ke ma choba soma nyungma soma sana tada rōng sem korong ne to tarong la tajare soma sana nyungma sana korong yima roba tongba o tere o soma nyungma ma choba sana ndi yena de mana din drigmana zamlegi tinde mongbo shena te joma chawale tata ma choba ko ronyi keneba tela yewe kenyam tela dedon yerme zarwe kenyam tela zardon yerme ta rina ronyi madoba redon yerme te zamje tela ne tobles gore ina yo tenne jo tela ne dongam tela gaja rizom jehe hakya ke male ba khorong ngo jong ta to ba kundo tharasna thendesare ta tela te rishi mongbo jaya yo mare karsana ko to tar dresar to ba thar sonlege nelo khono sem ko rong ji ta jong je te re so te ta rong ke peche no la te mi yi sha le tam ki thor thog mari rong ki nywa thol le de kong ko wa ten de de rong ki nywa te kung le yin na o ta ja wi sung ram na le song cha le chin na da ge wi yin yan nam je song cha le thong da to dan de ri dong dam le thong ko ngo ro ge re o tel la ta se dan de ri de we ma ri to de 수수기 냠수 마녀나 다 손제 주된데게 사지 조자 우선 도만시 도즈다 위추시 땡나요 수여단요 호반만도 롱거 견세들 토래 띵인도 다 조라데디 텐텐다 생각라 냠바샤야 텐데데
So when we talk about the free from elaboration is we can able to maintain or able to abide in that state if we do not have any past and future, for example, if we don't have a recollection from the past nor anticipation for the future. Just in the present moment, if you're able to stay without any concept, without any conceptual thoughts, without any idea, without any imagination, that is the mind, what we call solid, fresh mind, or true nature of the mind, or true intrinsic nature of the mind. There are so many names also have been given. The point here is that when the mind, if you're able to stay without any concept and any idea and imagination, that is the mind that unfabricated, so you are not going to fabricate the mind how you would like to be. You have to be able to meditate and stay where it is naturally without any fabrication. So if you able to maintain in that kind of state, then we can call it is the union of appearance and emptiness, or you can call it is the union of clarity and emptiness, or you can call it is the union of bliss and emptiness, or you can call it appearance emptiness. So as I mentioned earlier, so in that context, there is nothing that you need to accept, nor you need to deny or get rid of it. So whatever it is there, naturally you have to maintain in that state. Whatever appears, you need to be maintained in that state of the mind. So for that kind of state of the mind, if we go through a lot of explanation, it would never going to make any sense, because it is beyond expression, beyond description. So it is also, even we go through a lot of explanation about this, it will complicate more, because this kind of experience has to be gained through our own individually experience. Just like what Buddha, after he attained enlightenment, then first time, then he thought that whatever he has realized is not going to able to share with the other, because if he tried to share with the other may not able to understand. Where he said that I have found a profound and very peaceful and free from all the elaboration experience within my own self. However, if I try to explain this to the other may not be able to understand. So best I should remain in the solitary place without saying any words.
I think about that actually na the kibijenya zambi mejaba remake jejambo de peyore tan nambege chu da tanga mongbo sa no yore tangandol sana dene talama garja romboche ta plasa one tesa kombore kuche shirpo chu kichi de kachi mongbo no ne 주의긴 편조를 지토게 다티신 편ем게 나오잖아. 그러면 뭐 정요래라. 다 체제 류제라. 그 추제들라. 고소동 존재라. 다 텐데게 니도 제네. 템비게 나 저봐 라포천데벨 다 뒤도 손에게 당만나비 당가서마 토비오레 thế thôm này đang nghe cái gì cái hiệu quả mà đấy chế độ thôm mà thì học của thôm đấy thứ số chế độ thôm cái này zona mà đấy là carva song bồ đấy đang đón nam này công nghệ na đó công nghệ mà na đó ta kia như cái ta này mà không bảo ta để tiền điện nô đó sẽ ta thế nên để trả sẽ lên na ngờ đâu 손지 공부 오바미지게 초경 자담네 틀라 고바 제좀 보고 나오게 초속에 까르바 송본된다 제게 호감들라 랩송도 당이 책도도 대담다 이 인데레 니에도라 땡안dombe
Singapore is very fortunate country that many master has been visited and gave many teachings. I'm sure all of you have received many instructions and teachings from many different master, and particularly by His Eminence Gachin Rinpoche visited many times and taught you many times. I'm sure a lot of you have knowledge about Buddha Dharma's teaching. And of course, while I was meditating and practicing in Lapchi, Gachin Rinpoche also has been visited there and also gave me instruction and so on and so forth. And of course, to me, I find in our life, the best thing that we can do in life is the only Dharma practice, no matter what, who we are, where we from, but important is only Dharma practice. So, especially at this occasion, we are having, the Amitabha retreat. So without wasting so much time, we will going to recite the Amitabha mantra, and then please keep those things in your mind. And one important thing is that, as I mentioned earlier, it is always good to check your own self, like your own motivation, your own self, like your thoughts, body, speech, mind, activities. Investigate that most of the time.
Om Amadeva Sho, 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 Om Amadeva Om Amadeva Sho, Om Amadeva Sho, Om Amadeva Sho, Om Amadeva Om Amadeva Sho, Om Amadeva Sho, Om Amadeva Sho, Om Amadeva Sho, Om Amadeva Om Amadeva Sho, Om Amadeva Sho, Om Amadeva Sho, Om Amadeva Sho, Om Amadeva Om Amadeva Sho, 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 Om Amadeva Om Deva Cho, Om Deva Cho, Om Deva Cho, Om Deva Cho, Om Deva, Om Deva Cho, 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 Om Deva, Om Deva Cho, 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 Om Deva, Om Deva Cho, Om Deva Cho. Dear Ram, dear Ram, dear Ram, dear Ram, dear Ram, dear Ram, Om dear Ram, 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 Om dear Ram, 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 dear Ram. Om Deva Cho, 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 Om Deva Om Deva Cho, 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 Om Deva Om Deva Cho, 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 Om Deva Om Deva Cho, 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 Om Deva Om Deva Cho, 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 Om Deva Om Deva Cho, 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 Om Deva Om Deva Cho, 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 Om Deva Om Deva Cho, 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 Om Deva Om Deva Cho, 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 Om Deva Om Deva Cho, 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 Om Deva Om Deva Cho, 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 Om Deva Om Deva Cho, 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 Om Deva Om Deva Cho, 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 Om Deva Om Deva Cho, 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 Om Deva Om Deva Cho, 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 Om Deva Om Deva Cho, 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 Om Deva Om Dero, 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 Om Om Dero, 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 Om Om Dero, 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 Amadero, 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 Om Deoto, 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 Oh, I'm a devoto. 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 Om Deoto, 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 Om Deoto. Om Deoto, 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 Om Om Deoto, 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 Om Deoto. Om Deoto, 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 Om Deoto. Om Deoto, 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 Om Deoto. Om Deoto, 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 Om Deoto. Om Deoto, 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 Om Deoto. Om Deoto, 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 Om Deoto. Om Deoto, 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 Om Om Deoto, 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 Om Deoto. Om Deoto, 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 Om Deoto. Om Deoto, 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 Om Deoto. Om Deoto, 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 Om Deoto. Om Deoto, 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 Om Deoto. Om Deoto, 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 Om Deoto. Om Deoto, 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 Om Deoto. Om Deoto, 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 Om Deoto. Om Amadeo, 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 Om Deo 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 Om Amadeva Cho, 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 Om Amadeva, Om Amadeva Cho, 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 Om Amadeva, Om Amadeva Cho, 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 Om Amadeva. Om Dewa Cho, 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 Om Dewa, Om Dewa Cho, 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 Om Dewa, Om Dewa Cho, 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 Om Dewa, Om Dewa Cho, 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 Om Dewa, Om Dewa Cho, 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 Om Dewa, Om Dewa Cho, 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 Om Dewa. Om Dewa Cho, 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 Om Dewa, Om Dewa Cho, 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 Om Dewa, Om Dewa Cho, 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 Om Dewa, Om Dewa Cho, 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 Om Dewa, Om Dewa Cho, 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 Om Dewa, Om Dewa Cho, 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 Om Dewa, Om Dewa Cho, 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 Om Dewa, Om Dewa Cho, 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 Om Dewa, Om Dewa Cho, 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 Om Dewa, Om Dewa Cho, 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 Om Dewa, Om Dewa Cho, 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 Om Dewa, Om Dewa Cho, 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 Om Dewa, Om Dewa Cho, 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 Om Dewa, Om Dewa Cho, 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 Om Dewa, Om Dewa Cho, 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 Om Dewa, Om Dewa Cho, 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 Om Dewa, Om Dewa Cho, 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 Om Dewa, Om Dewa Cho, 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 Om Dewa, Om Dewa Cho, 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 Om Dewa, Om Deo Cho, 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 Om Deo Om Deo Cho, 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 Om Deo Om Deo Cho, 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 Om Deo Om Deo Cho, 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 Om Deo Om Deo Cho, 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 Om Deo Om Deo Cho, 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 Om Deo Om Deo Cho, 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 Om Deo Om Deo Cho, 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 Om Deo Om Deo Cho, 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 Om Deo Om Deo Cho, 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 Om Deo Om Deo Cho, 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 Om Deo Om Deo Cho, 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 Om Deo Om Deo Cho, 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 Om Deo Om Deo Cho, 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 Om Deo Om Deo Cho, 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 Om Deo Om Deo Cho, 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 Om Deo Om Deo Cho, 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 Om Deo Om Deo Cho, 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 Om Deo Om Deo Cho, 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 Om Deo Om Deo Cho, 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 Om Deo Om Deo Cho, 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 Om Deo Om Deo Cho, 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 Om Deo Om Deo Cho, 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 Om Deo Om Deo Cho, 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 Om Deo Om Deo Cho, 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 Om Deo Om Deo Cho, 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 Om Deo Om Deo Cho, 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 Om Deo Om Deo Cho, 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 Om Deo Om Deo Cho, Om Deo Cho, Om Deo Cho, Om Om Amadeva Sho, Om Amadeva Sho, Om Amadeva Sho, Om Amadeva Sho, Om Amadeva Om Amadeva Sho, 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 Om Amadeva Om Dewa Sho, 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 Om Dewa Om Dewa Sho, 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 Om Dewa Om Dewa Sho, 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 Om Dewa Om Dewa Sho, 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 Om Dewa Om Dewa Sho, 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 Om Dewa Om Dewa Sho, 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 Om Dewa Om Dewa Sho, 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 Om Dewa Om Dewa Sho, 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 Om Dewa Om Dewa Sho, 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 Om Dewa Om Dewa Sho, 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 Om Dewa Om Dewa Sho, 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 Om Dewa Om Dewa Sho, 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 Om Dewa Om Dewa Sho, 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 Om Dewa Om Dewa Sho, 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 Om Dewa Om Dewa Sho, 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 Om Om Dewa Sho, 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 Om Dewa Om Dewa Sho, 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 Om Dewa Om Dewa Sho, 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 Om Dewa Om Dewa Sho, 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 Om Dewa Om Dewa Sho, 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 Om Dewa Om Dewa Sho, 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 Om Dewa Om Dewa Sho, 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 Om Dewa Sho. Page number 28, last line. Huan Jom Den Gong Bo San Je Wu Ba Me Zhe Jian Jar Zhe Cham Sen Pa Bu Tso Nyo Mo En Ro La Tui Je Rab Gong La da so de jin shen de jin de so ngon ja to ja tam ja je yin de to da ma yer to je wan ge la ling yan ta zen kor wa tong zhong ne da da ni dan zhen ban ze de so te da don sho cha pe ju ke ve nan de tu le tu jia wo man zhe da son zhe wei nian gan ten be mo dan jian lo duan zhi ba ran za li xie dan mi jue ge gong bang en jie san sa dong zi mi zhi zhang an de yang.
Hong, transcendent conqueror, protector, Buddha Amitabha, and noble assembly of loving bodhisattvas, compassionately look upon us afflicted beings and guide us to the pure land of Sukhavati. In accord with your past bodhicitta vows, not wavering from the sacred bond, deity with great compassion, please exhaust all negative karma and empty samsara from its depths. At this very moment, please act as our guide. As I, with intense devotion, have thus invoked the enlightened mind, great light rays of compassion radiate from heart of Amitabha and dissolve into the hearts of myself and all beings. Self-grasping, misconception, and delusion have collapsed in themselves. The state of selfless Dhammakaya is realized, and I rest in nature of clarity and emptiness, free from grasping and elaboration.
And da nam ba gom de le jong we so nan ta ye tam ba kan do de ro wa dong ar che wo chen wa na ba me be ne ra to ba yu.
By all the limitless and sacred merit obtained through this meditation and recitation, may all beings drowning in the river of suffering attain the supreme state of Amitabha.
Chancho semjo Rinpoche machi bana jeje jiba nyamba me ba yang kone kondun be yo.
Page 35. May bodhicitta, the excellent and precious mind, arise where it has not been. Where it has arisen, may it not decline, but ever increase higher and higher.
Tumba lame sanji Rinpoche, Chomba lame tamji Rinpoche, Dremba lame gendu Rinpoche, Jamne konjo son lanju bambu. Okay, now lunch break. You enjoy lunch. Okay, just I encourage you. We lunch break time or tea break time. If you okay, you can recitation mantra continuous because this 4 days we retreat, we can focus for retreat, recitation mantra. There is that is more meaningful time, Sometimes we look like meeting, discussion, many things, topics, then little bit waste time, Then this moment everybody is focused for recitation mantra, relax, okay? That is then can more benefit.
Thank you, Rinpoche. Dharma brothers and sisters, so as per what Rinpoche had mentioned, please, if you can register, that means write down the number of mantras that you have recited during the break time. Please put them at the registration counter. We will now go for this 1 hour break. Please, everyone, please stay back at your seats while our volunteers will hand out the lunch boxes. So our part-timers, you may actually welcome to join us. There's enough bentos to go around. We seek everyone's help to keep the place clean and tidy and ready for the next session. Okay, here are also some of a few announcements that we have while you eat your lunch. So number one is regarding the robe offerings. So we do have a special segment on Saturday, which is the robe offering. If you would like to join in this robe offering segment, please, you can register at the registration counter behind. And there are some Dharma friends who have actually registered this online. If so, please get your email confirmation ready and you can obtain your labels at the registration desk so they are ready for you. As you can see, there are a few counters behind where you can actually offer flowers and lamps and rice to the triple gems. Also, you can register the names for the Changchok and write in the names on the prayer flags, which we will bring it to Gachin Buddhist Institute in America this September, where we'll be going for our pilgrimage. And the next one is please be seated at your own designated seats. We have received some feedback from our Dharma friends that their seats have been taken. So please do not move around. Please do be at your own designated seat. And at the behind, we have actually set the seats for volunteers and part-timers. Please leave it for them because otherwise they will have no seats, to practice together with us. We seek your understanding in this. The last thing here, we'd like to remind all Chinese speaking friends that if you like to attend the retreat in Mandarin, it is actually available. You just have to get the radio FM receiver at our registration counter and tune into the Chinese channel 103 FM. 那我们想讲中文，就是以中文完成全程的这个法会的朋友们呢，你们其实在我们的这个 registration desk 后面，你们可以购买这个 FM receiver， 然后你们就可以播到103 FM， 然后可以接收到这个中文的这个法会。好，那谢谢大家。Have a good lunch, and we'll see you back here at 1:30 p.m.